Okay, for this one, I'm going to use the image of the chain. Go ahead and open this guy up. Okay, when we're talking about machined or hard edges, sometimes we can have an easier time masking things out if we use polygonal lasso tool. Now, you can try magnetic on something like this when you have a lot of contrast between one to the other. You can, basically the way this one works is you just kind of click and then drag along the edge. And usually if there is a decently high amount of contrast, this magnetic lasso tool can do a pretty good job. I'm not super fond of it because it seems to always want to betray me at some point. But I did want you guys to see kind of how this one works. I'm going to go over here and click. Oops. And so I got my selection here. So as you can tell, did a pretty good job hugging along this side. Pretty good job here. Really only ran into an issue at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean this one up so I can make this selection. I don't have to waste the time that I saved doing this one. So, and I'm just going to grab my polygonal lasso tool and I'm going to clean this guy up. So I don't want this to be selected. So I'm going to hold down Alt. So get the minus symbol and just kind of go down through here and grab this bit of edge that we lost. I'm not going to be super detailed with it. I just want to make sure, come back to where I started, where you can see the circle, close it out. And actually I have a little bit over here as well. So hold down Shift in this case, because I'm adding two. So I want this edge. Okay. And I think we got a little bit more here too. So we can just use the marquee selector to make sure all of this stuff on the edge got selected. So as you can tell, like I said, the magnetic lasso can do pretty good in situations like this where there is some stark contrast, but for the most part, it feels like a little bit, sometimes can feel a little bit like you're out of control with it. So I like to do is do mine with just the regular, just the regular polygonal lasso tool. So I'm just going to go in here and by drawing straight edges, just clicking and following edges, go ahead. And when I drag to the edge like this, it'll move the canvas for me. Sometimes a little bit more aggressive than you necessarily want, so you just got to kind of guide it around a little bit. And holding down Shift, by the way, so that way I've not deselected the area on the bottom that I've already masked. Just go here, here. And push hard over this side, here. And I can also, if I use my other finger to hold down spacebar, I can get the hand tool to move. And now click to close it. So now I have all of that selected. So I'm going to duplicate this layer and go ahead and hit the mask button. Obviously my mask is inverted again, so Control I to invert. So now I've got these two sections in here. Now I can go through and I could probably take care of both of these with my polygonal lasso tool again, but actually I think I might be able to take quick selection in here and save myself some time. So grab quick selection, make sure I'm on the image, not the mask. select in here, select in here, and then probably, if I zoom in just a little bit, see what we got. Some pretty good edges. I still got this part, so I need to reduce my sample size. So I'm just going to hit open bracket to get a smaller brush. Click in there. Don't want this to be selected. So if I hold down Alt, I get that minus. You can tell it actually want to save these pieces. So that'll work. Go over here. Do the same thing. That time it looks like it grabbed everything pretty well. Got an edge right here I need to bring back. So this is a good opportunity. Jump over to my Polygonal Lasso tool. And I want to hit Alt to subtract from the selection. So there. Okay. All looks pretty good. So now I've got those two sections selected. Go over here, turn to the mask, and I'm going to edit, fill them with black so they'll be transparent. Okay, so we just used the Polygonal Lasso tool and the Magnetic Lasso tool, and then we also used a little bit of the quick selection to get the stuff inside. Do this one a little faster for us. So that's basically how you would use the Polygonal Lasso tool and the Magnetic Lasso tool, and use a couple of different selection tools to make a selection and get an alpha.